Tonight, I'm going to share one of the most credible alien abduction stories. A 41-year-old man named Carl Higdon drove his work truck along a paved road in the Medicine Bow National Forest, which is this huge nature preserve in southern Wyoming. But for some reason, when he pulled the trigger, the gun didn't go off. But then he saw something that just didn't make any logical sense. He felt this massive wave of vertigo, and then he just sort of felt himself falling, and then he blacked out. But interestingly, beyond the fact that the deputies had no idea what happened to him, they reported that his truck had been parked 3 miles away from the main road in this muddy bog, and strangely, there were no tire tracks leading to it. He told her that when he was in McMarty Canyon and he saw those elk and he raised his rifle and he pulled the trigger, he said there was no sound, there was no kickback, it was like nothing had happened. But then he said something happened that truly just didn't make logical sense. At which point the bullet actually stopped and almost flipped inside out and sort of flattened and then fell to the ground. And when she reached into the pockets of his jacket to make sure they were empty before, washing the jacket, she felt something metallic. And she pulled out this round, flat disc, this metal disc. And then she thought about what her husband had said about the bullet from his rifle, flipping inside out and flattening and falling to the ground. She couldn't help but feel like this metallic disc that she's holding in her hand that was in her husband's jacket looks an awful lot like a bullet that has been flipped inside out and flattened. She couldn't believe it. But as crazy as Carl's story sounded, there were several very strange facts about Carl's case that up to this point, nobody had been able to explain. And the story that Carl told while under hypnosis technically accounted for all of them. The second strange fact is that when Marjorie had ballistics experts analyze that flattened presumed bullet that she had found in Carl's jacket, they were just as baffled as she was. They could not come up with any earthly explanation for how a bullet could be flattened and turned inside out. And the third and perhaps strangest fact is that when hospital doctors gave Carl x-rays, they found something that should have been medically impossible. All of the tuberculosis scar tissue in Carl's lungs that had plagued him for decades, that had made it so hard to be physical and exercise, they had somehow disappeared.